we are doing a live student spotlight for anyone and everyone who is ready to learn how to stop settling, stop waiting, and get what you want now with the simple 3-step receive method. Now, this live practice session is part of a masterclass that I did last week around specifically work and money called What If It Was Easy? However, the 3-step receive method allows you to open up to abundance. Hi, Lily from Chicago. It allows you to open up to abundance in all areas of your life. So if you did the masterclass, then this is our time to practice. And if you didn't get a chance to do the masterclass, please catch the replay. It will definitely flesh out, fill up the gaps that you might not really totally know what we're doing, but definitely stick around, follow this process, practice along with me. You may want a notebook and a pen because you will definitely receive a positive experience from this. So just as a brief overview to have this sort of make a little bit more sense, in the masterclass, I talked about 3 small shifts that bring big abundance. And so this had to do with why it is that you work harder than you need to, why it is that you settle for less, and how your current strategy is the reason that you get trapped in what I call waiting mode. And most people, especially smart women, accomplished professional women, the main strategy that we do, because we don't know any better, because we're products of our environment, is we get trapped in what I call doing mode versus receiving mode. And another way of thinking about that is you act like the hunter. And the hunter is always seeking, and working hard. And because our consciousness creates our reality, what we actually receive is seeking, and working hard. There's a whole lot of problem solving involved in that. And the reality is that we are not human doings, we are human beings. And as human beings, like all beings, especially the symbol that I love to teach from, which is the majestic tree. The majestic tree and all plants, all of these natural creatures of beingness are receiving all day long. We are also beings and we are receiving all day long, but we don't realize that what we're actually receiving is what our attention is focused on. So if you are focused on problem solving and trying to figure out how to get what you want, you manifest a whole bunch of problem solving and you always trying to get what you want, like the hunter, operating from a consciousness of lack and scarcity and problems. So you get more lack and scarcity and problems. And it's that feeling of, I never arrive. I never actually get the thing. And if you do, best case scenario is you get it for a minute, for a day, a week, you might be happy. And then what happens? Just like the hunter, you've consumed the thing and you're back into hunting mode. So you never actually emerge into a lasting feeling of, I've arrived. I know where the abundance is. There's always more. And that is how the tree lives. Always receiving, always open, always receptive. The balance to the hunter is the gatherer. The gatherer knows where the abundance is. The gatherer knows. And the gatherer simply takes its basket, goes to those places of abundance and gathers. And gathers, and then it brings it back and it experiences it fully and it, lets it go and then it goes back for more. So this is what the 3-step receive method allows us to do as human beings with overdeveloped minds and an overdeveloped hunting skill. So that being said, we are going to, in just a moment, I wanted to, let me see, there was one more detail I wanted to make sure everybody knew about. This masterclass serves as an invitation to an opportunity to master this one skill that most of us are missing, which is how to receive. And this allows you to stop the endless seeking like the hunter and truly emerge into that ever open to good fortune abundance that allows you to receive what is already here, that abundance in a permanent and lasting way. And this benefits all areas of your life. If you go to the link I'm going to send you to in a moment, you will see all kinds of wonderful, fulfilling success stories around business and money and relationships and body. And I actually did some statistics last year after doing this now for quite a few years. 300% increase in fulfillment, 70% decrease in struggle. So this is a consistent practice. It works. And to energize the momentum for those of you who would like to join me, this is an 11-week program. It's called the Receive Now program. I'm doing a launch. Orientation is June 8th. And for the first 5 who sign up, I'm going to be offering a one-on-one session with me where I will give you a customized 90-day plan for you to really take that program and know exactly how to make the most of it for your heart's desires. So the link to that is the receiveexperience.com. And you are invited to join me. It's lifetime access. It's life-changing. I've been doing it for a few years and I'm doing a new launch. So would love to have you all join me. All right, that being said, and hi, Lucinda, great to have you here from Berkeley. We're going to jump right in. And I want to thank and introduce Gigi.
Hi, everybody.
Great to have you.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. So we got on the Zoom call a few minutes early and Gigi was in the class and shared with me that you already received a heart's desire. So please share that, because this is how quickly and easily it can work.
It was amazing. I was just doing some soul searching or breathing and thinking about what is the heart's desire that is coming up for me that's most prevalent. And I had the feeling of really being called to go to Europe for a few different reasons during the summer, and didn't know who would go with me. And I realized I could go alone, but I would prefer to go with someone else. And so as I was writing out some of my awarenesses, I sent a text to someone who I thought would not be able to go with me. And she said, I absolutely can go with you. Let's do it. and so I didn't even get to the invitation part and it already happened.
Yes. That was so fun. I love it. I love it. This is so great. And yeah, you said you, in your mind as the problem solver, you had some real thoughts, like legitimate reasons that you thought she's not going to be able to go with me. And then through that receiving process and using awareness, there it was. Yes. Wonderful. Wonderful. That's great. So for those of you who are following along, I invite you to identify for today, as I'm going to have Gigi do and share in a moment. For today, what is it that is most here for you that you want to receive? It can be big, it can be small. And a great way to ask yourself is either what is it that you want? What is it that you're ready to receive? Just ready right now. Or if you're struggling with something, that usually, if there's something that you don't want, that means that there's something you do want. But if your attention is more focused on, I just don't want this, I'm struggling with this, whatever is here for you now, just identify what that is. And I'm going to ask you to put that in the chat, just, a couple words, whether it's, I want money. I want a solution to this problem. I want my kids to call me. I want this person to call me. I want new clients, whatever it is. Yay, Gigi. You got a little cheer for you.
Oh, thank you.
Wonderful. So put that in the chat. And I also invite you to just briefly, and we're going to do this in a moment, on a scale of 0 to 10, put the number that represents how much you're struggling around this, how stuck you feel, how resistant you feel, 10 being the highest, okay? Usually the things we want most is because it's when there's attachment or longing or an angst, or we're really like trying to solve problems, there's a high level of resistance, okay? So we have new clients at a level 8, Okay, so put those in the chat. And so now, Gigi, I'm going to ask you to share what is it that you want, or what is that your heart's desire is, like, got your awareness and your attention today?
Okay, so it's to have a loving, romantic, co-creative relationship with a man that I trust.
Okay. And on a scale of 0 to 10, how much either challenge, stuckness, or resistance or blockage do you feel around that?
An 8.
Okay. Okay. So this is how we begin. We begin by just identifying what's the thing that's got our attention. So I invite everyone to just bring that into your awareness. Again, if you want to put it in the chat, that would be great. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to move through the 3-step method. So for those who are unfamiliar, it's ALI, and that represents awareness, let it be here, and invitation. And invitation means invite more or better. So I'm going to walk you through this now, Gigi, and you can do this in writing format when you're on your own. You can just talk to yourself when you're on a walk, in meditation. There's many ways that we practice this. So I'm going to actually just have you speak this out loud to me. It's going to be on the recording, so you can go back if you want to capture notes. It'll be just more flowing that way. So Gigi, tell me, we're going to begin with A, which is everything that you're aware of around this heart's desire. And like the tree, what we practice is we practice being unselective about what we're receiving. What tends to happen when we're in hunter mode is we are highly selective, okay? We have our sights set on a target. In human doing mode, that means I have a goal. I want to have a loving, co-creative relationship, right? So then we identify the target and we start to problem solve. As a hunter, we get out our tools, we problem solve, we think about it. What do I need to do? Is this the right person? Do I go on a dating app? Is it this person? So when we do that, the space of our whole being, our space of our minds, space of our bodies, space of our hearts, what we're actually receiving is problems, problem solving, and hunting and lack. Okay, so the hunter is highly selective, focuses on the target to the exclusion of all else. And what that does, it causes you to receive only what you want and push away what you don't want. And that blocks the flow. Okay, the tree is open and receptive to all of life. It never hunts, it never problem solves, it never examines, and it receives all day long. Sometimes it receives things it wants, sometimes it receives things it doesn't want, but it receives, and that keeps the flow going. So that being said, for you, Gigi, we're going to be unselective around what you are receiving now. And what you're receiving now is going to be in awareness. So these are the prompts that will help you become aware of what you're receiving around this. So here's the first prompt. Just speak to me regarding this heart's desire. What is it that you want? Just stream of consciousness.
Okay, so I want a spiritual connection with the man that I trust, and to be able to speak freely, be myself completely. What else? I want to be able to be playful and adventurous and alive and not problem solving. What else do I want? Do I keep going in that? Okay. And I want, what else do I want? I want to travel, and I want to explore, and I want to create, and I want to help people with this person. I want to touch their lives in magical ways. And I want, just want to give back in many ways.
Okay, great. Now I'm going to keep prompting you. And just because I'm asking you one question doesn't mean you can't bring more wants in. Okay, so I'm going to ask you now, share with me, and these are more of the things that are here, but it isn't always in our awareness. Okay. So what is it that you don't want?
I don't want conflict. And I don't want, there's a pattern that I've seen in my life that's recurrent where I attract someone with big energy and then I struggle to meet that person halfway or bring my energy up and hold it in relation to them. And so I want to be able to hold my energy in relation to them and be happy with the person that I'm being when I'm doing that, like feeling authentic and true, you know, to myself in relation to them. I don't want a roller coaster, which I've also experienced, of feeling hope and connection, and then in the relationship I'm currently in, that person runs after that, and then I'm left with me. So I want a more balanced relationship with the person that I'm with. What else don't I want? I don't want to get like stuck in the weeds. Yeah, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And
what's most important is that it makes sense to you. That's why we're, so you're speaking it, you might be walking and thinking it out loud. You'd also be, you could write it. Okay. But what's important is that whatever's inside of you has a place to come out, to be unselective about really receiving what is here now. Yeah.
And I want to be able to feel in the moment whatever is in me, rather than feeling like I have to shut that off and then go off on my own and feel it. I want those things to happen, that to happen like in the moment. And I want, don't want, but don't want. Let's see what else. I don't want this like it feels like there's a mountain in front of me that I have to scale over. That's presented by my partner and all his emotion. And I want to be able to either navigate through that or just go over the mountain or have it dissipate, something change.
Good. So we just keep being unselective about what's here. This process of speaking what you're aware of is the opposite of problem solving. We're simply speaking what we become aware of. And these prompts are, what I have learned is usually all jumbled up that we're receiving. That's the problem solving. So what we're doing is we're stopping the problem solving and we're receiving what is here instead. So you've talked about wants, you've talked about don't wants. There might be more that you can share. The next prompt I want to ask you is, what do you think is required to have this relationship that you want to have?
I think me being authentic and speaking what I'm truly feeling is required. And I want that for myself. I feel like being a good listener and being able to hold space for the other person and acknowledge what their experience is, validate that. I feel like that's required. I feel like an openness is required. Me being more of a human being than a human doing is required, and no judgment or less of that. I find that when I'm in that space, more curious, open space without the judgment, that just relationships with anyone just work better. That's it.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a few more just because I know from experience some of the things that people think are required that we aren't always aware of. So and answer honestly. Do you feel that you have to figure something out in order to have this relationship that you want?
What I do feel like I either have to resolve the relationship I currently have with my husband, who I'm separated from.
Mhm.
I feel like, yes, like that, I would want that to be cleared up
Mhm.
before inviting a new person in. Or if it is going to be my husband, it would have to be cleared up, because what we're receiving is not what either of us wants currently.
Okay. Okay. So I'm going to just paraphrase that you're aware that, and this is now moving into kind of another prompt, which is beliefs. I believe I have to have clarity about my current relationship in order to have the relationship I want. Okay, so I have to have resolution. I have to have clarity. So there's helping you bring that into your awareness. This is part of the realm of problem solving, and this is also part of the realm of the hunter. So the hunter is this plus this will equal this. It's linear, and there's I call it incorrect cause and effect thinking. These things need to happen first before I can have the relationship that I want. And it makes total sense to the mind, but that linear, I call it conditional receiving. These conditions have to be fulfilled before I can have this thing. This before is part of what causes the waiting and the delay. It prevents you from opening up to what is here now, which means it could be clarity. Okay, the clarity could be part of what comes, or an aha, or some wisdom, some answers that are already within you that you can't quite get to because you're trying to figure it out. So this is why I asked, do you have any beliefs about what's required in order to have your heart's desire in a relationship? Do you believe you have to figure something out? We want to receive, even, I believe I have to figure this out. I believe something has to be resolved. So we're going to bring that into your awareness here. Okay. And I'm also going to ask you, Gigi, what are you aware of in terms of what you're feeling about this? Worries, concerns, sadness, hopes? What
All
is
of
your
that.
emotion? All of that.
Yes. Well, it goes from hope to like the feeling of connection, and then a feeling of I'm going to be left again. So an emptiness, and a sadness and grief around that. And then some fear, anxiety around not knowing when I do connect with my husband, who's going to show up, because he's carrying quite a bit of anger, and so preparing myself before I see him. Okay, if he is really angry, how am I going to be in the presence of that? So there's,
Yeah, a lot of feelings. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing that. So we've talked about wants, don't wants, presumed requirements, beliefs, and feelings. Is there anything else that you're aware of right now that's here for you regarding your heart's desire?
some fear. I mentioned that, but definitely some just fear.
Okay. So we're aware of the fear. So this is A. We've just done the A of ALI. So now, and I'm going to invite you, and I'm just going to say to those of you who are here live, wherever you're at with this process, whether you're just listening and then you're going to practice on your own, or you're sort of following along and answering these questions for yourself, I'm going to invite you to now shift into L. So L is let it be here. letting this all be here, letting it be as it is the opposite of problem solving. It's the opposite of hunting, okay? The hunter has his or her hands full. It's either got a spear or a shield. It is moving through the world towards the target in problem-solving mode, always prepared, selective about what it will receive or not so that it can protect itself, all right? So this space is closed. Your hands are closed around, it's either protecting or holding on, it's this. And so the tree is open. And the tree just lets everything be as it is. So I'm going to invite you to close your eyes, Gigi, and anyone who's going to be participating in this, and simply take a few breaths. And when you're doing this yourself, I like to invite people to simply say the words, I let this all be here. And as you breathe, let your awareness go from your thinking mind into your body. Feel your lungs open and receive and release. And simply let everything that's here for you be as it is. The wants, the don't wants, the presumed requirements, the beliefs, all the feelings as best you can. Now, when you're doing this on your own with your own practice, you can hang out here for as long as it feels right. Something will eventually shift. So I'm going to give you some silence, Gigi and everyone else, to just take a moment to simply be as you are, unselective. And enjoy a little time to simply be instead of do. And sometimes if the energy feels intense or things feel busy in your mind, it's good to take some really deep breaths. And what's actually happening when you practice this is that you are receiving yourself. And wherever your attention goes, the energy flows. This directs life to direct all of its kindness towards you because you are treating yourself with kindness. And that is the consciousness that's creating your reality right now. Okay, so I invite you to open your eyes. And so, Gigi, I'm just going to check in with you and ask, how are you feeling right now?
Calm.
Okay. And you started at a level 8. How would you say you're feeling now?
I would say more like a 3.
Okay, great.
Like the
So,
trees. 3 like the tree.
3 like the tree. 3 like the tree. Yeah. So I'm going to invite everyone else to check in at the level of struggle, intensity, resistance that you were feeling when you began, and put in the chat maybe the 2 numbers. And also if you feel better, worse, or the same. And even if you feel worse, which can happen sometimes, because as you let what's here be here, you might find out that there's other stuff that's here that doesn't feel good. Sometimes feelings arise more intensely. Okay. And you do your best to receive that, just like we did with the first round. Okay. So we're always receiving unselectively. Right now, I'm going to proceed with you, Gigi. And what happens is when we go through this process and you are feeling lighter, okay, that's a sign that there's more space. You've now opened up a space, and space is the invitation. We're automatically moving into the I of ALI, awareness, let it be here. I is for invitation. I'm going to just check in here. We have money and work exception, probably 7 to 8 driving today. Okay, so for Tiffany, good that you're following along, and when you have some time to simply be, that will help you be able to receive whatever's here and really relax when you're not driving. Lily shifted from an 8 to a 4, feeling better. Good. So as you receive, sometimes you're going to move into a spaciousness, which allows you to invite. And sometimes you're going to receive immediately the next thing, which might be a little bit more intensity. And you just keep receiving whatever you're aware of there. Now, once you have spaciousness, you are now an embodied invitation. You now have room to receive something else. So Gigi, you began by, your space was filled with all of this stuff that you just shared, okay, about the relationship. You fully received that now. You let it land, a space opened up, and now you are an invitation for whatever kindness life wants to offer, is always offering. There's always abundance right here. And you're already available to it. And we will now move into I in terms of how to invite more or better, because where your attention goes, the energy flows. So the tree invites, it's always an invitation. It's a space, and life is always giving to it, and it's always receiving. Sun, water, earth, minerals. Sometimes it's stuff that it wants. Sometimes it's cat droppings and poop and branches and rocks around the roots. It can be anything, right? It's unselective. And if it had the will that we have, it would say, I'm going to invite what I want now. Now, it's just going to do it because it's a being. But the way the tree invites is it emits its colors and its fragrance that draws more of what it wants, which is the birds and the animals that spread its seeds across the land. Okay, because the tree, that's what it's here to do, is to just expand and grow. That's what we're here to do as well, and create and co-create. Now, for you, Gigi, on a conscious level as human beings, the way that we can invite more or better I like to offer 2 ways. Okay, this is now because the mind wants to do something. All right, so we either use a question or we use a willingness affirmation. All right, now questions are open invitations. That's what they're, open invitations. And I offer, for example, 2 kind of go-tos are, what else is possible now? You've just received all the stuff about your heart's desire, and you can say, ask life, what else is possible now? And then you simply get up, do what's in front of you. So that's the doing part. Another question that's a good practice is, okay, I've received all of this. How does it get even better than this? One of the things people start to notice is, as you start receiving unselectively, you'll start manifesting things. So for example, you manifested a travel partner. So then we receive that. I'm aware of that. I just manifested a travel partner. I'm going to experience that fully and let that be here. How does it get even better than this? So this makes you a constant invitation. When you start receiving the stuff you actually want, you amplify it by inviting more and better. Okay. If it's something that you're receiving that's challenging for you, like feelings of fear, anxiety, you're stressing out, you're wanting to, Lily's working on money, for example, and there's challenging things to receive, then you can say, okay, what else is possible now? You can also say, all right, I just received all this really hard stuff. How does it get even better than this? So those are ways to use questions. You can also use willingness affirmations, and willingness affirmations, I won't go into the teaching today, but they're the most powerful way to use affirmations because you are simply inviting the essence of what you want, which is how you want to feel, right? You can also invite concrete things as well, but you are not binding yourself up with problem solving or control. Okay, a lot of affirmations are designed to automatically activate resistance because you're trying to talk yourself into believing something, that you can have something that you don't really believe you can have. That immediately creates resistance. So we use willingness. Okay, so one way to create a willingness affirmation is to become aware of either something that you don't want right now, that's bothering you, that's difficult, right? Or something that can soothe you. All right. So for you, Gigi, I'm going to give you some examples. But the main thing about a willingness affirmation is you want something that simply feels good. So based on what you shared, I'm going to offer some suggestions. So one could be, I am willing to believe that I truly can have the relationship of my dreams.
Okay.
I'm willing to believe that it can be easy. I'm willing to believe that I don't have to figure anything out and that the clarity is coming right now. So those are a couple, all right. Then you can go deeper into some of the specific things you were struggling, which is, and I'm going to ask you, like, if you were to identify like one thing that's kind of like the greatest struggle for you around this, what would that be?
Well, the first thing that comes up is a feeling of if I do separate completely from my husband, that there's just going to be a lot of drama, conflict, big energy. Like it won't just be like an amicable separation.
Okay. So what I'm hearing is I don't want drama, conflict, difficulty, friction. Those are the don't wants around that. Okay. So this is another mini receiving. Okay. We're now identifying this piece. So you're becoming aware of that. So what the opposite is, which is an easy way to identify a willingness affirmation, is what you want is harmony, amicable, ease. Those are a couple. So a great affirmation can be, and this is good because we're now going to take it out of the realm of receiving conditionally to under all conditions. I am willing to believe that I can experience harmony, ease, and grace, no matter what, or under all conditions. Because at the end of the day, that's really what you're wanting regarding relationship, whether it's with your husband, through a separation, in a new relationship. You're wanting ease. You don't want the mountain. You want it ease. You want harmony. You want it to be co-creative. You want grace. So this is an emerging essence that's showing itself. And so what you're doing is, I like to say when it comes to manifestation, focus on the essence of what you want so that the form can come.
Excuse me. I got a tickle. Okay, so essence, so form can come.
Yeah, most of us hunters will focus on the form. If I get this thing, then I'll get the feeling I'm after. We focus form, feeling and essence are one and the same. So you're identifying the essence of what you want in a relationship under all conditions. A new relationship, your current relationship, separating, divorcing, whatever it is, just want harmony. I want it to be co-creative. I don't want to have to climb a mountain. I don't want, like, I just want harmony, right? And if you focus on that, life will deliver everything you need to continue to deepen your experience of harmony, ease, grace, connection that's consistent. instead of being left again. You know, all of that, you will be guided in the best form for you, whether it's with your marriage or someone else, or the transition process, because your attention is nurturing that. Okay. And you're going to be nurturing harmony and peace and grace within yourself through ALI. All right. So you said you had a question about the invitation. Does that help you a little bit more?
Yes, yes.
Great.
Thank
Great.
you.
Okay. So, so you've done A, you've done L, you've done I. You've got some invitations that you want to play with. What speaks to you the most that you want to take away from today?
I'm willing to believe that I can have harmony, ease, and grace under all conditions. I love that.
Okay. So then whenever you are in problem solving mode around your relationship, around your husband, around what do I do, around is it going to be with him or somebody else? Whenever your mind goes into problem solving, you're going to stop, take a breath. I am willing to believe that I can have ease, grace, and harmony in my relationship under all conditions, or just, you can even take out relationship. I'm willing to believe I can have ease, grace, and harmony in all of my relationships or everywhere under all conditions. And I'm going to invite you to really take on that affirmation. Okay. That's going to be your invitation to life to then provide for you and guide you every step of the way. And you'll be a constant invitation for that. And then you'll keep receiving whatever shows up. All right. So that's ALI. Okay. That's how you move into your day and into your life. Practice ALI especially whenever you really want something or you're bumping up against something. Okay, so we take on ALI as a way of being, as a practice for the rest of our lives. And it is the antidote to getting stuck in hunting, which causes you to settle and to wait and to work harder than you need to. So we practice awareness by noticing, I'm problem solving, stop. So we go very deep into the Receive Now program with the 10 powers of being. And one of them is the power of stopping. Another one's the power of space. We create space to be. All right. So this goes, I would say ALI is 1 inch wide and 10 million miles deep, and it applies to all areas of your life, but it's a place to practice. Okay. Thank you, Lily. You are welcome. I know we went longer, but I wanted to make sure that we really got to unpack this. So, with that, the final piece then for you and everyone else is, everyone says, okay, now what do I do? You do what's in front of you. You do ALI, you get up and you do what's in front of you. That's exactly what doing is required, is what's here at this present moment. Okay. Do the dishes, go to work, get a cup of coffee, take your dog for a walk, whatever's there for you. Okay. So how was that for you, Lily? I'm sorry, Gigi.
It was great. Thank you so much, Sonia.
You're welcome. Well, thanks
Really
so
wonderful.
much for being a volunteer, helping other people practice and learn. I will be back here tomorrow with another student volunteer. Thanks everyone here, Lucinda, Tiffany, Lily. Let's see here. I think I got everyone. Yeah, and anyone that I can see. And come back tomorrow and we'll do another practice round. All right.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Take care.
Okay.
Bye-bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.